She doesn't need to leave your house to leave you. She just needs to change her words. One day she's saying, "I'm fine," and the next, she's quietly rewriting your story without you even noticing. Listen carefully, because tonight, I'm revealing the 6 phrases women use before they play you, and how to stop being the last to know. But first, subscribe to this channel if you're tired of guessing games, and hit that like button so more men wake up. And tell me, what city are you watching from? Let's see where the smart ones are listening tonight. Phrase 1. I just need a little space. It sounds innocent, doesn't it? Polite, mature, even self-aware. But when a woman says she needs space, she's not searching for peace, she's testing her freedom. You think she wants to meditate, clear her head, maybe take a yoga class or 2. No, what she's really asking for is emotional permission, the green light to start living a new life while you're still waiting at the old door. I've seen it too many times. She's working late, but her chat bubble lights up at midnight. A message from Mark from marketing, the one she swore was just a colleague. The same man she mentioned 3 times last week, casually, as if rehearsing a new name in your ear so it wouldn't sound suspicious later. That, my friend, isn't space. That's transition disguised as reflection. Psychologically, this phrase is the perfect trap for good men, especially men over 50 who were raised to fix problems, not flee them. You hear, "I need space," and your first instinct is to respect it, to prove your understanding. You step back, you wait, you give her time. But here's the dark truth. Every hour you give her becomes another brick in the wall she's building between you. A woman who truly wants to reconnect doesn't distance herself. She sits down, she speaks, she reaches. When she pulls away quietly, she's already halfway gone. I just need space translates to, I've already started leaving, but I don't want to look like the villain. And if you take it at face value, you're volunteering to be the emotional standby while someone else becomes her excitement. So what should a man do? The answer is not anger, it's clarity. The next time you hear those words, breathe, look her in the eye and say calmly, take all the space you need, but don't expect me to be waiting when you return. That's not cruelty, that's self-respect, because when you give endless time, you lose not just her, but yourself. Space isn't a request, it's a test, and most men fail it by waiting instead of walking. Remember this, she's not asking for silence, she's asking for distance. And every day you stay quiet, that distance becomes permanent. But space isn't her sharpest weapon. No, the next phrase doesn't just pull you away. It makes you the one to blame. And that, my friend, is far more dangerous. Phrase 2. You've changed. Ah, the classic twist of the knife. You've changed. Those 2 words sound reflective, even reasonable, but make no mistake, this isn't feedback. It's a strategy. It's how she rewrites the story so she can leave as the victim, not the villain. Picture this. She's sitting at dinner, barely touching her food, scrolling her phone between bites. You ask what's wrong, and she exhales dramatically. I don't know. You've just changed. Her voice soft, rehearsed, dripping with quiet disappointment. But what she's really saying is, I need a reason to detach without guilt. In her group chat later that night, she types to her best friend, "He's different now. I don't feel the same spark." And there it is, her emotional alibi, time-stamped and ready for when the truth comes out. Because when a woman starts planning her exit, she doesn't pack a suitcase first. She builds a story. From a psychological standpoint, you've changed is projection. She's already the one changing, but she can't face it yet. So she mirrors that shift onto you, flipping the script until you're the one apologizing. You start revisiting old conversations, second-guessing yourself, wondering what you did wrong. That's the trap. The moment you start defending your behavior, you've accepted her version of events, and she's free to play innocent. Here's the bitter reality. She's not trying to reconnect. She's trying to clear her conscience. She wants to leave without appearing cruel. You've changed gives her moral cover, the same way a lawyer crafts a defense before a trial. So what should you do when she throws this line at you? Don't plead, don't negotiate. Look her in the eye and say, yes, I have. I've changed because I stopped tolerating what doesn't respect me. That sentence cuts deeper than any argument ever could. It reminds her that growth isn't betrayal, weakness is. See, men over 50 often mistake understanding for strength. But emotional intelligence doesn't mean accepting manipulation. It means recognizing when empathy is being used as a leash. She'll test your reaction, maybe tear up, maybe act wounded, because she expects guilt, not composure. But your silence, your calm certainty, that's what dismantles her script. Because once guilt fails, she reaches for her next shield. The one that looks like exhaustion, but hides something far colder. And trust me, that one burns slower. Phrase 3. I'm just tired lately. Phrase 3. I'm just tired lately. She says it with a sigh, voice low and weary. I'm just tired lately. The kind of sentence that sounds harmless, even sympathetic. You nod, offer understanding, maybe a shoulder rub, thinking it's stress, work, or life weighing on her. But here's the truth most men miss. This isn't about exhaustion, it's about escape. When a woman starts using tiredness as her armor, it's rarely physical. It's emotional and selective. She's not tired of the world, she's tired of you. Not because you did something terrible, but because pretending still takes effort. Pretending to care. Pretending to connect. Pretending to feel something that's already gone. You'll notice the pattern if you pay attention. A few weeks earlier, she was affectionate, curious, talkative. Now her replies have turned short, her body language closed. The laughter that used to fill your evenings has been replaced with silence, the kind that hums with unspoken thoughts. You ask if everything's okay, and she sighs, I'm just tired. You want to believe her. You tell yourself, she's overwhelmed. It's just a phase. But deep down, something twists in your gut, because her energy tells a different story. You check your phone later that night. She's online. She's active in the group chat. A friend posts a photo of her at a cafe earlier that day, smiling, glowing. Suddenly, that tiredness looks selective. She's not too drained to talk, just too drained to talk to you. This is what psychologists call progressive disengagement, the art of leaving emotionally before leaving physically. It's a slow fade, the quiet unthreading of attachment disguised as fatigue. Women use it, consciously or not, because it's less confrontational than saying, I've stopped wanting this. It allows them to slip out of the connection without taking responsibility for the distance. For men, especially those over 50, this is the most dangerous moment. Because you were taught that patience fixes things, that understanding earns love. So you wait, you give space. You convince yourself that empathy is strength. But in this case, empathy becomes self-betrayal. The more space you give, the colder she becomes. The more you understand, the faster she forgets what made her respect you. Here's the truth. When a woman is genuinely tired, she seeks comfort. When she's emotionally done, she seeks silence. Her I'm tired isn't an invitation for care. It's a quiet goodbye in slow motion. The right move? Don't confront with anger. Don't beg for explanation. Instead, meet calm with calm. Look her in the eyes and say, rest then. But when you wake up, decide if you're still in this. Because I'm not waiting in limbo. That's not cruelty, that's clarity. Your energy is sacred. Don't let someone use tired as a polite exit from accountability. If she's tired of connection, be the one who ends the waiting game. Because every time you accept that excuse, you trade self-respect for false hope. And here's the twist. I'm just tired isn't even the end. Once distance stops working, she'll switch tactics. She'll trade silence for softness, confusion for control. The next phrase won't sound tired at all. It'll sound tender, uncertain, and far more dangerous. Phrase 4. I don't know what's going on with us. It's the kind of phrase that sounds harmless, almost sweet, a touch of vulnerability, a whisper of concern. I don't know what's going on with us. But beneath that softness hides a calculated ambiguity. She's not lost. She's testing. And if you're not grounded, you'll fall straight into the fog she's creating. She says it after weeks of subtle distance, the shorter texts, the distracted glances, the quiet dinners where every conversation feels like walking on eggshells. When you finally ask what's wrong, she sighs, almost theatrically. Her eyes flicker just long enough to make you feel guilty. I don't know what's going on with us, she says, like the problem materialized out of thin air. But the truth is, she knows exactly what's going on. She just doesn't want to say it aloud, because speaking it makes her the one who ended things. So instead, she wraps the breakup in uncertainty and hands it to you like a mystery to solve. From a psychological standpoint, this phrase is emotional misdirection. It forces you to analyze yourself, to overthink, to dig through your actions and words searching for a flaw. Meanwhile, she stays silent, observing how much effort you'll spend trying to restore what she's already erased. Every apology, every reassurance, every promise you make, it feeds her control. You're doing the emotional labor while she enjoys the safety of detachment. Picture this, she's sitting across from you, saying she's confused. Yet her phone lights up with a message that makes her smile. The confusion vanishes for a split second, until she remembers you're watching. That's when the frown returns. The truth, her uncertainty only exists around you. Everywhere else, she's perfectly clear. This phrase also plays on your empathy. Mature men, especially those over 50, have been conditioned to fix, to stabilize, to lead. So when she sounds uncertain, your instinct is to anchor her, to prove the connection still exists. But that's exactly what she's counting on. Because if you're busy proving your devotion, you won't notice her emotional exit. The right response isn't reassurance, it's reality. You meet her gaze and say, "You might not know what's going on, but I do. I'm being tested, and I'm done playing." That line shifts the power instantly. It reminds her that you see through the mist. You're not the confused one. You're the one who refuses to be manipulated by false vulnerability. Understand this. I don't know what's going on with us isn't a cry for help. It's an emotional smokescreen to make you question your worth while she quietly rebuilds her excitement elsewhere. And when this line fails to hold you, when your calm strength exposes her game, she'll need a new mask. One that hides cowardice behind kindness and pity behind closure. Phrase 5. You deserve someone better. It's a line wrapped in silk, gentle, noble, and devastatingly final. You deserve someone better. Those 4 words sound like compassion, but they're a curtain drop on a stage she no longer wants to perform on. Don't let the softness fool you. It's not love speaking, it's guilt trying to sound graceful. She delivers it quietly, with a trembling voice or maybe a long pause, as if she's weighed the moral weight of her words. But look closer. This isn't selflessness, it's strategy. It's the perfect emotional smokescreen. She gets to walk away guilt-free while you stand there thanking her for breaking your heart with kindness. You'll see it in the pattern. A few weeks of distance, late replies, polite smiles. Then one night, after another empty dinner, she sighs, "You deserve someone better." And just like that, she becomes the caring one. The thoughtful woman torn between doing what's right and what's easy. Except what's really happening is this. She's already detached, emotionally rehearsed, maybe even preparing someone else's number in her phone under a fake name like Laura from HR. In female psychology, this is called moral repositioning, reframing herself as the self-sacrificing heroine so she doesn't have to face the guilt of leaving. She's not saying you're not enough. She's saying, I've already chosen to leave, but I need you to make it sound noble. And you, the dignified man, the one who always tries to understand, fall into the trap of gratitude. You say, "Thank you for being honest," when honesty was never the point. Comfort was. Don't romanticize that moment. She's not freeing you. She's freeing herself from accountability. When she says, "You deserve better," she's quietly saying, "I already think I've found better." And the longer you stand there trying to process it, the more control she keeps. The right response isn't anger, it's elegance with edge. You hold her gaze and reply, "You're right, I do. And that person is me, without you." Then you walk away. No messages, no one last talk, no lingering goodbyes. Because every second you spend trying to get closure from someone who packaged betrayal as virtue only keeps you tethered to her narrative. Here's what most men miss. That line isn't closure. It's a performance. She needs you to think she's kind so she can live with what she's already done. But the real story isn't her sympathy. It's your silence. That's the moment you reclaim your power. The second you stop starring in her redemption story. Because pity isn't her final move. The next phrase is subtler, smoother, and far more dangerous. A promise that sounds like patience, but really means she's already gone. Phrase 6. Let's just see what happens. It sounds open-minded, doesn't it? Casual. Easy. Like she's suggesting patience or faith in fate. But "let's just see what happens" isn't about flow. It's about control. It's a leash made of hope, wrapped in charm. And if you're not careful, you'll wear it around your neck while she walks away slowly, smiling over her shoulder. You usually hear it after weeks of uncertainty. When you've noticed the distance, asked the questions, and started demanding answers. She doesn't want to commit, but she also doesn't want to lose your attention. So she throws out this soft, non-committal promise, a placeholder that sounds romantic enough to keep you from walking, but vague enough to keep her options wide open. Picture it. You're sitting across from her at dinner. You ask, "Where do you see this going?" She stirs her drink, gives that polite half-smile and says, "I don't know. Let's just see what happens." Then she changes the subject, something safe, something light, while her phone buzzes quietly next to her plate. That's not patience, my friend. That's positioning. This phrase is emotional limbo disguised as calm. It keeps you anchored while she evaluates the field. Because as long as you're waiting, she doesn't have to decide. She can flirt with new possibilities while still enjoying the comfort of knowing you're right there, orbiting her like a loyal satellite. Men over 50 often mistake this line for maturity, a sign she's cautious, thoughtful, taking her time. But in truth, it's indecision with benefits. You provide emotional stability while she experiments with distance. It's a polite way of saying, don't expect much, but don't leave either. Here's the reality. When a woman genuinely wants a future, she doesn't see what happens. She creates what happens. She chooses, she plans, she invests. Let's see is what people say when they already know the answer, but don't want to say it out loud. So what's the correct move when you hear it? Don't argue. Don't negotiate timelines. Just smile and reply, I don't wait to see, I decide. Then step back. Let her see what happens when your energy disappears, when your attention is no longer free, when your presence stops being guaranteed. That's when truth surfaces fast. Because the game ends the moment you stop playing. Let's see what happens was never about patience. It was about postponing honesty. And once you walk away, she'll finally see what happens when a man stops being available. Now, take that silence, that distance, that clarity, and use it. Because the next words shouldn't come from her. They should come from you. See you in the next video.